说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello, newbies. This is Chinese Pod coming to you from Shanghai, China, and bringing you lessons in spoken Mandarin. We have a newbie lesson today. My name is Ken Carroll.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
Now, very basic stuff, but extremely useful.
Yes, it's about the toilet.
The toilet. It's about finding a toilet and finding a particular type of toilet.
That's true.
Which type are we talking about?
We will encounter two types of toilet.
Yes.
A squat one
Yes.
or a regular one, quote unquote.
So in China, regular could be either. In fact, traditionally, it's the squatted toilet.
That's true.
But now in the cities particularly, it's common to find both. So what we're gonna look at today is how you ask. Because sometimes you have, I think for slightly older visitors, sometimes they don't like to use those squat toilets.
Yeah.
They're not used to them. And I've seen slightly older folks who won't even go in until they know,
That's
right. is it squat or is it the other kind?
So we have the language to prepare you for that.
Exactly. So let's listen to it. Now, if you don't get it straight away, don't worry. Listen to the sounds, then we'll translate it, and then we'll help you to put it together.
Dialogue, first time.
这儿有厕所吗？
有，
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的。
哎呀，那算了。
Second time.
这儿有厕所吗？
有，
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的。
哎呀，那算了。
Third time.
这儿有厕所吗？
有，
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的。
哎呀，那算了。
Practical stuff?
Yeah, and quite an emergency there.
Yeah, it sounds like a very fervent need for
I
toilet.
agree, yeah.
All right, let's do the translation.
好，这儿有厕所吗？
Is there a bathroom here?
这儿有厕所吗？
Is there a washroom near?
这儿有厕所吗？有，
Yes,
有，
there is.
有。蹲的还是坐的？
Is it a squat toilet or a sitting toilet?
蹲的还是坐的？
Is it a squat toilet or a sit-down toilet?
蹲的还是坐的？蹲的，
It's a squat.
蹲的，
Squat.
蹲的。那算了，
Then forget it.
那算了，
Then forget it.
那算了。
Now, we're not suggesting that you have to say forget it every time because you could end up getting yourself into trouble. This is just what happens in this particular piece of drama.
Yes.
Now, a couple of key words before we get into it. The first is to sit. The verb to sit is
坐，坐，
坐. Now, the sit in any regular sense, to sit anywhere is...
it's all 坐。
It's all 坐. Now, and the verb to squat is...
蹲，蹲。
Dun.
Yes.
That's first tone, right? Yeah.
Right.
Dun. Okay. So let's take a look at it in a little bit more detail. Now, we won't break down every detail here because that gets over analytic, but what we can do is look at the pattern. So let's start with the first sentence.
这儿有厕所吗？这儿有厕所吗？
Now, when we take this from the back, we see that it's a question. We know this sentence is a question because at the back of the sentence we have the word
吗？ Ma.
Ma. And that's how you correct questions in Chinese. You just stick that particle at the end of your, and otherwise a straightforward sentence, an imperative or whatever, and you put the ma at the end and you have a question. Now, the word for toilet is?
厕所厕所
Good. The verb to have, in a sense of inexistent, to be there.
有
And the word for here.
这儿
So we've worked it from the back to the front. Now let's start at the front and go to the back.
这儿有厕所吗
Now, literally, that is here have
toilet
question mark. Let's hear it again.
这儿有厕所吗
Yeah, there you go. That's an important question, of course. You might need to ask that question. And
Yes.
at times extremely useful. Now, because the verb you use in the question is,
有
and that means is there, do you have, I guess literally, do you have here? And so the answer in the affirmative is,
有
so it's the same verb,
Yep.
right? So the verb is have toilets here, have, if you were to translate literally.
有
That's how it works. Yo. Now, squat or seated. I'm not sure what the adjective is. Anyway.
蹲的还是坐的
Now, 蹲的 means, is it a squat? It's a way to describe it as an adjective.
Yeah.
Is it a squat? Or,
还是
now, 还是 means or.
Or.
Yeah. Seated.
坐的
Now, don't worry too much about the grammar, because grammar can really trip you up here, how this all works. Basically, you're just describing it. Is it squat or is the other
That's
one? All
right.
right. Now, let's hear the full sentence.
蹲的还是坐的蹲的还是坐的
Good. Now, helpfully, once again, the reply it comes from the actual question. So the answer is
蹲的
蹲的, meaning
A squat one.
The squat one, yeah. So remember, the word 蹲 is actually a verb.
Yes.
Right? And 蹲的 means it's describing something. Okay. And so this guy is willing to forgo the experience, and he says,
算了那算了
good. Now, the expression 算了 means what?
Forget about it
Forget about it. Okay. And this word 那,
那 means in that case
well then, forget about it.
对
He's not willing to use...
蹲
He's not willing to 蹲 and use the 蹲的.
That's true
Poor fella. Okay, well, we hope he has some luck elsewhere. Let's listen to that 3 more times.
好
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chinese Pod Trivia. Our first question is, how long will it take you to become an intermediate Chinese speaker using the Chinese Pod app? Is it A, the rest of your life? B, you should already be an intermediate speaker? C, 3 months? Or D, Chinese Pod has an app?
You should already be in.
Ooh, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, 3 months. That's right. Head over to ChinesePod.com now to register for your access to over 4,000 lessons. Get the Chinese Pod app now on Google Play or the App Store.
Dialogue first time
这儿有厕所吗？
有
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的
哎呀，那算了。
Second time
这儿有厕所吗？
有
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的
哎呀，那算了。
Third time
这儿有厕所吗？
有
蹲的还是坐的？
蹲的
哎呀，那算了。
Ken, this language is quite sort of foreigner, expat-friendly language.
Yes.
Because in China, we wouldn't really ask that.
No, it's unlikely. It's the 蹲的 toilets are actually more common traditionally. But if you go to like, I don't know, hotels, of course.
Or restaurants. They were all likely to be 坐的.
Yeah, but Chinese people are pretty much used to using both.
That's right.
I think if you're not used to the squat toilet is fairly intimidating when you're not used
I know,
to it.
exactly.
But you get used to it here. But the key point here we have today is that, like I said, I know of people when they bring their parents, and their parents are like, no, I'm not using a squat.
对，不要蹲的.
Yeah, and so you've got the language here to do that. Yeah. Well, we hope it was useful and insightful, and we've avoided making any silly puns here. But
we're grown-ups.
Stuff. I hope so. Now, so these two grown-ups will be back again tomorrow with another lesson. But right now, it's time for us to say
再见.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
1134.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/1134 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/1134.